This is my 1988 BMW E30 that I'm going to be driving 2000 kilometers back home through Europe. Almost 2 years ago, I was working abroad here during my summer break and kind of hoping to save up for an E30 someday. And during the last week here, I stumbled upon an ad for facelift sedan E30 324D, and upon looking closer, it was left-hand drive, which was perfect for me, so we bought it. After bringing it back home, I immediately started stripping as much as I can because we already kind of knew that it was going to be rusty and probably will need some welding. So I took out the interior, the carpet, everything from the trunk because it was full of spare parts and honestly trash. And that's where we left it last year.
The car had loads of tiny paint chips, tiny rust spots, engine parts plastered all over the interior, as was taken apart by the previous owner. What surprised us the most was the makeshift strut brace in the trunk, made of shitty welds and a steel pipe. After taking out the carpet, we were indeed greeted by loads of rust and previous repairs.
So the next year when I came back during summer, we started taking out the suspension. My dad took out the engine and we basically started prepping it and taking out as much as we can to start the whole welding process.
After taking out the carpet in the trunk, we saw that the previous engineers left us a few patches. One of them was bolted in with a rivet gun. The rear arches were filled with expandable foam. There was a glove somehow in it. I'm guessing the foam absorbed too much moisture, and that's why the gas cap is also rusted away. The following days we took out the whole front suspension. This is some peak engineer work. The front wings were bolted on with wood screws. The front suspension wasn't too bad to take out. It took us about 40 minutes in total.
Situacija. Pasimatė, dar skilių yra. Ten skilė. Ten jau kažkieno lopyta. Ir keleivio pusė 2 skylės taipogi.
After After about a month of bad weather, we started working on the engine bay once again. We cut out the previous patches that were starting to rust once again and started forming the new patches. After cleaning up a bit of the inner arch, we noticed small rust spots practically everywhere. I also tried taking out both of the rear seat belts. One of the mounting points was rusted beyond repair, and it was hanging by a zip tie that was tied beneath it. Over the next few days, I removed the sound deadening from the rear seats and noticed even more rust spots there, and also removed the sound deadening from the trunk. There wasn't that much rust in it, but there was still a few spots that needed to be fixed. After welding in one of the pieces in the engine bay, I grinded and smoothed it out because we're trying to restore it like it was originally, so another part on top was to be welded on it.
This is pretty much where the project is right now. It is currently day 224. I've since sanded and coated the engine bay, at least a part of it, with edge primer to protect it from rusting any further. And we have since taken out the rear suspension, the fuel tank, and I have some pretty big updates in the following video.